Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Adrian, your go-to for all things ambient, electronic and wonderfully weird in the world of sound design. And today we are diving into something quite exciting actually. Drop pad 3 for Kontakt 8. If you've ever layered pads so thick you could swim through them or crafted atmospheres that feel like they belong in sort of like a Blade Runner reboot, this one's going to be your next obsession. Absolutely trust me on that. Drop pad 3 is a major leap from version 2.2, and it's not just a facelift, it's got absolute massive guts behind this because we're talking a new Sample Randomiser, a fresh Modular FX section, and one of my personal favourites, an onboard preset browser that makes diving through hundreds of textures feel like, well, crate digging on synth steroids. Whether you're a composer scoring a moody sci-fi, a producer layering textures in IDM, or just an ambience addict like me, Drop Pad 3 hits hard in all the right sonic places. We're going to walk through the features, test drive some of the sounds, randomize the heck out of it, and give you my honest take at the end. But before we get into this, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you love deep dives into Kontakt libraries, sound design gear, and ambient production tips. Your support lets me keep creating more videos just like this, so let's get on with it. So straight out of the box you got a lovely drum beat there, and with it being pitched you can make sure it's in tune with your piece. So if you're in C minor, you can hit a C key on your keyboard, or if you want a duller sound, just drop it an octave. So nice touch there. If you press this presets button, because normally with a lot of these Kontakt instruments you got to click on this drop down and start messing around up here, but handily with drop pad you can just click on presets, and we have banks A, B, C, D, E. From E onwards we end up in user banks, so you can save your own sounds to E, F, G and H, which is fantastic. So let's do some of these percussion loops. What it's really doing is sort of morphing between four sounds. Now we'll just reload this up again, we'll reset everything. So what it's doing is, you can see that little dot, it's morphing between these four sounds to give a nice rhythmic bed. Just do one more from this section. Some tonal loops. So that's a nice cinematic-y bed there. So far you might be thinking this is just a loop machine. It's a lot more than that. Please do stick with me. So you've got some FX presets here, so you can change things as we go along. And the modulation presets as well change. Let's do a couple more from this section. Now we get on to some lovely sort of textures here. Gives a unsettling sound. So you could use that like a sci-fi, ambient-y Blade Runner style backdrop behind your track to build upon. Let's do a couple more from here. Does what it says on the tin, really. Ambient FX backgrounds, nice drones. Now we come to some lovely, lovely pads. And if you just want to step forward a preset, just click on these little arrow buttons here. So if I want to go forward one, carbon spill. Really nice movement in there. Doing like all those little sort of glitchy sounds in there. So that's your pads, your textures, ambient effects, and if we go up here, you see that's exactly the same up here. But we also have a different menu up here, and this is all the drop pad sounds from drop pad 2. There's over 200 in here, so we've basically just brought across everything. So it's not just an upgrade, it is a whole new instrument. But you can play your own presets that you made in drop pad 2 if you wish. Let's do another one from this harp section. Let's change some of these effects as we go along. We've also got the drum loops from previous versions. So you can layer these up to create a nice, interesting drum track. Do one more from here. Let's go for super lead. Some interesting rhythms there. Do one more from here. So that's just a sort of like a drop in the ocean of the, no pun intended there, but a drop in the ocean in the sounds from drop pad. Real sort of, just, I can just think of the instant atmosphere setters, really. Just a couple of those sounds and you've got your foundations for your tracks, which is absolutely fantastic if you love the ambient cinematic type things. I'm going to have a quick look at the interface because although it looks simple from the front, there is a lot of power there to be played with. Okay, so we've played with some of the sounds. Let's have a quick look at the interface. We've got 4 tabs here to go through. We've got the main, we've got the edit, modulation, FX. So on the main screen, we can isolate different pads. And when I isolate pad, it means that it will play a constant sound. And if I press this little play button in the middle, it will automatically play the whole thing. Now, if I isolate, say, D, A, C. You can also highlight more than one of them. You can solo a sound, if you so wish. Then you've got this wonderful thing called a randomizer. You push that button, and lo and behold, there we go. Need to press the play button again. We have a very usable sound. Hit the randomizer again. Another very usable sound. So this randomizer is really good. What you can actually do with it on the options, if you just click on that little options underneath, you can actually choose which banks to use samples from. So if I just go, so if I use banks C and D and say randomize, that's a nice sound, that. So on the right hand side we can change the volume and change the type of mode this runs in. In sampler mode, it's mapped across these sort of like several keys to play tonally. And you notice it changes to blue. Now if I go to red, this syncs to your host or tempo and is really for sort of your rhythmic type loops. So the sample length each one is retained, and the bits that go behind the scenes that keep it in pitch basically. So obviously it hits the CPU a bit more than using sampler mode. Underneath we've got the mod presets, which we can change, and we'll come to that a bit later on as to exactly how to do it. But basically it'll change that little square dot. You can save your presets to these little things here. We've got FX presets, so at the moment we've got so basically you can call different FX presets to change the sound as you go along, and you can turn an arpeggiator on and off. I don't think it will work so well on this sound, but we'll try it. Now, let's try this one. Go back to the one we were on before. So you can get a simple arpeggiated pattern. Now on the left hand side here we can change how this square moves basically. So this auto morph can change the speed of it. We can change the vertical axis. So I'll just change that size, so that means it goes bigger and wider. And we can change the left right size as well, or if you want to just go pretty much straight up and down, we can just do that. There we go. At the moment it's on a random shape. We can change the shape of how it moves and sync it to the tempo. Let's just go crazy. There we go. Circle. So basically what it'll do, it'll move within a circle shape. see that. There we go. So go round and round and round and round. And if I do a square. So you get wonderful, interesting effects by just doing a few little tweaks here. Just going to set that back to ambient drag again. And we'll move on to the edit page. I'm not going to go into all these controls here in great detail, except to say that you can change the volume, the pan, the attack, decay, sustain, release parts of the sample itself. So, you know, they are the basic sort of synthesizer sample type things, and you can change your start point of a sample. And as you make changes here, you can actually see how it sort of like moves on the actual main grid on this page. The bit I want to show you is sample import. You can import your own samples. So, as an organist, I sampled many organs that I have access to, and let's just bring in one of those samples. It's a beautiful flute patch. I've pitched it down an octave already. Let's put it to the full octave. And the patch is, well, the sample is already looped anyway, so that's why it loops at the end. And then with this, I can, like I say, I've added it into the rest of the patch. So you can make some very interesting sounds very quickly with this. And this will work now with your arpeggiator, because I've got now I've got a constant pitch. We then have your mod area. So this allows you to add low pass filters, peak filters, high pass filters, really mangle the whole sound really. Let's see, so at the moment we've got a low pass filter on pad C. If I want to put it on A as well, I just do that. Now I'm actually morphing the low pass filter to change the sound. Now if I want to, I can put a peak filter on a pad B. Let's do it to my A sound actually. High pass filter on as well. And then I can save this as a preset on 1, 2, 3. So as I'm playing, I can on the main screen, I can go there and change my mod preset as I go along, so I can change the sound as I go along. I'm just going to turn these off on here. We then have the effects section, which allows us to add some formant, faces, tape, cosmic reverb. I do like this cosmic reverb. We've got other types of reverb on there to go at as well. A bit pre-delay. And obviously format gives you like a vocal sound. So that's a quick tour of the interface of DropPad 3. There's a lot of power here to actually change your sound, especially being able to import your own samples and then creating, so you can hear the cosmic reverb still running in the background there. Allows you to create some wonderful patches, sort of either ambient, electronica, great for cinematic sort of backdrops as well. So it's definitely an instrument to put on your list to check out, this one. So we've played with the sounds, had a look at the interface, time to put them into a little composition. And there you have it, DropPad 3 is not just a solid update, it's an entire ecosystem for creating evolving, expressive soundscapes. From the XY morphing engine that feels like sculpting air to the Modular FX that adds serious depth, this is Kontakt library that invites exploration. I love how the randomizer doesn't just slap new samples in, it feels like it's an intentional thing it's doing behind the scenes, like every random preset is the start of something fresh. And here's the best bit, for those of you who already own DropPad 2, yes, your legacy presets are compatible, and they've thrown in 293 new snapshots from the previous edition. You're not just getting new tools, you're getting a vault of sonic gold from DropPad's history. So the big question is, well, is it worth the upgrade? Well, absolutely. Whether you're into ambient washes, abstract textures or cinematic drones, DropPad 3 is a sound designer's dream playground. I would like to thank the folks over at Loot Audio for sending DropPad 3 over for a review. It is very much appreciated. And if you enjoy this walkthrough, please do drop a like, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more synthy goodness, sample reviews, and behind the scenes of my ambient projects. Until next time, stay creative, stay sonic. See you in the next one.